Man, the thing that gets me is when we can watch Stacey and I, or me and Stacey, how I like to really say it. Um, we can watch three movies, and this doesn't mean we watch them in succession or we watch them in we watched them in order. But what I'm saying is we don't necessarily sit down and watch three movies together.
Right. We got to have our breaks in between.
And with this Paddington series, it really kind of moved me a little bit. What about you?
Yeah. And I mean, it took us a minute to watch the third one.
But then we finally got it.
Right.
So let's let the show start.
What's going on, everybody? This your boy King Germ, one half of Pod and Saved Our Marriage. Each and every Friday, Queen Germ and myself drop an episode to show the people how Pod and Saved Our Marriage. Now, we're not like most married couples. Most of the time we disagree, but that's the beauty of the show. So, when you get through listening to Sparrows Under review, come give us a listen. Each and every Friday on any DSP, go look for Pod and Saved Our Marriage.
So, what was your initial thought of this movie compared to the other ones? Let's just jump into the comparison.
All right, let me not jump into comparison. Let me tell you why this even caught my attention first, because it'll make sense. Paddington in Peru. I didn't know what the hell that meant. I knew what the bear was, but I didn't know what was going on with Peru. So I got hype. Getting into the third one was a slow churn. I was satisfied with the first, and then the second one lived up to a better expectation that I was getting for it. And then I knew we had to watch the third one because I'm the one that initially started this whole deal with, I was like, Stacey, let's just watch Paddington in Peru. And you were like, your famous line is,
I can't watch the third one because I haven't seen the first two.
and we actually sat down and watched the 1st two instead of me giving up, because on quite a few movies I've given up, like Inside Out.
Right. You just won't watch it with me. Instead of just taking the time and watching the first movie or even the first two movies, you're freaking stubborn and it's not your way. So you're like, oh, never mind, and we'll never watch them anyways.
But for some reason, Paddington made it through the process somehow. Maybe it was his red hat. Maybe it's him being in Peru, and I had a thing with Peruvian dates, the fruit.
Whatever helps you sleep at night. I'd say it was more likely because we didn't have anything else to watch while we were on the road.
Right. And it's a feel-good movie, and it has twists and turns, and especially the evil villain of the first movie compared to the second villain, who, because we watched a movie where he was really evil, we knew he was evil.
Okay.
Now, Paddington in Peru, a film that came out in 2024.
5 over here.
Oh, for real?
February 14th, 2025.
Damn.
Right.
Oh, all right. That's why it's still fresh in the theaters and shit.
Yeah.
Damn. They don't even let them shows. What is today? March 5th?
Mm-hmm.
So, hold on. So, you're telling me not even a month later, we watched Paddington over, it's been on streaming services for 3 weeks.
Is it on streaming services?
Yeah.
Okay.
Man, I'm going to have to do an episode on my show about this. Damn.
Well, I mean, I believe you obtained it.
Through my streaming service, Movies Anywhere. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I didn't think it was on streaming services. But
I mean, it's like it's video on demand. It's not on like Netflix or, I'm sorry, let me clarify that. It is on video on demand. If you rent it or buy it, you can watch it. It's not on, but it's still in local theaters around West Virginia, Ohio, and Virginia, and different places right now.
Right, because it's still fresh. I believe it is on Amazon Prime.
Okay. Already?
Well, I hope so. I believe that's where we watched it on, didn't we? Because we didn't go to the theaters to watch this one.
Right, I thought we watched it on Movies Anywhere.
Because it's either that or I think Apple TV has it as well. That's what the interweb says.
Yeah, I thought we watched it on Movies Anywhere. I'll check on that later. However we watched it doesn't matter. Now, I'm going to let Stacey start this one.
I asked you a question and you're not answering it.
I answered it.
No, you didn't.
What did I blab on about?
You can blabbed on about your bullshit. What did you think of this movie compared to the other ones? What was your initial thought?
After watching this movie all the way through, this movie was very lackluster. It felt like it was rushed.
Mm. Well, I'm just going to address the elephant in the room because you're apparently not catching what I'm laying down. They changed the character of the mom.
Oh shit! Yeah.
That is my biggest issue with the comparison of the movies. Don't get me set on one character and then all of a sudden, bam, here's another lady. With just because I think that the mom needed a fresh take. Bullshit. And
Okay.
that ruined the movie for me.
Okay, it's like the same thing when I was younger. We had this show with Will Smith called Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
You can't even compare that because that's a TV series.
No, but think about this.
No,
The mom was on there for like...
No, I don't care. I can see somebody leaving a TV series, but you can't sit there and tell me that you can't do a movie. Like, it's 3 movies. What was going on in your life? Just to give an example of, I think that she needed a fresh take. No, I'm not buying that. Give me a legit reason as to why you didn't want to do the movie.
Oh, so you really got beef with the mom.
Well, I mean, it's not that hard. It would be like changing Robert Pattinson out for a different, or Taylor Lautner, when they wanted to change him in Twilight, the New Moon, because he wasn't going to be big and buff enough. It would be a completely different character. It would not make sense. I can understand it in a long-running TV series because that takes a lot of your time and dedication, and you can't do anything else with it. But to flake out in a movie, no.
Okay.
And I'm not saying the new lady wasn't good, but it wasn't the same. It wasn't the same feel. It seemed like a completely different persona.
Right, because the mom was different. Like you said, it's a different character. And I get where you're coming from because it's kind of like, yeah, I get that. And that can ruin the movie. I'll go with that. And I'll add this in. And like you said, there's certain elements that the original character did in 2 movies. And
I loved her in the first 2 movies.
And like you said, her excuse for not wanting to be in the movie made no fucking sense. Like,
right.
That's really stupid. That's a money train. That movie's making money.
Right. And I mean, if you didn't want the money, you could have donated it.
Right.
But like I said, there was just aspects that the initial actress brought to the mother that second actress didn't bring in. And it's like, oh, well, I don't feel as attached to her. Like, I guess in the first 2 movies, she felt like she was the mother, the what is that term I'm looking for? She basically held everybody together.
The patriarch.
Yeah.
And I can see that because, like, in the second movie where they were out there and they were thieving and doing all kinds of stuff, she was always out there really advocating for Paddington. And in this third movie, the mom really wasn't really out there strong. She's a weaker actress in this role.
Mm-hmm. Right.
She's not as strong as the first one, and that does take away from the movie. And I think that the chemistry that was built, that's what was really missing.
Probably.
Paddington, like, the rest of the family was fine with him, but yeah, you could see that missing. And the mom, now that I think about it, was a greater aspect than normally.
You thought, right.
Yeah, normally.
Right, because we got to watching it, and I'm just like, I didn't know that the actress was different at first. Because they did look very similar. And I thought, it had been a while, so maybe she lost weight, gained weight, had plastic surgery, something, you never know. To each their own on that stuff. But I'm just like, something feels off. It doesn't feel good. Like, it's not the same.
Right.
I mean, it was overall good. It turned out good, but it didn't turn out great.
Okay. And I can go with that. But let's run along into this movie real quick. You got a star-studded cast because you get Mr. Antonio Banderas in this movie. Shout out to him. He's played a lot of different characters, from being in a movie with Nicole Kidman called Baby Girl to being in this movie. So 2025 seems like it's going to be his year.
Okay.
Because he can go up and down, and with him being an older actor, it's hard, for older actors. But he's got that Hispanic vibe that you just want, because he made this character very interesting.
Right.
As a sub boss or sub bad guy in this movie, his character didn't take off for me.
Right. I mean, I feel like when it took a while to get into his character to figure out what was going on with it. I feel like they could have had more, just like a little more explanation in the beginning without giving the whole story away. And I don't know. It's hard for me to be super positive about this movie, especially since it's so new and
Mhm.
fresh. We don't like to 100% jump into movie spoilers when we're talking about newer movies. When it's the old ones you should have already seen and you haven't, that's your problem.
Right.
um, but yeah, I mean, overall, I mean, I don't know I don't know how do I want to explain him.
Like the story just seemed rushed in this movie.
It did, but I get why. I mean, what I don't understand is how the grandma got, or the aunt got to wherever she was at.
Yeah, like how she
Like, did
traveled that
somebody
fast.
find her and took her there, or because we know the whole. Let's see, we know the whole story now, except like how did she find her way there?
Right.
Like we know where she disappeared and how she disappeared. I'm trying not to give too much away and still make sense. Like we know how she disappeared, but how'd she get saved?
Yeah, how did she get to that community?
Yeah, maybe I just missed that part.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Because like it didn't really explain it. It explained that like that she, the part that happened with her and the bad guy, how she ended up where she was at, but it never told you how she got rescued from that point on.
Okay.
And that was one thing that was missing for me there. And that was my dinger in this movie. And I did say the word dinger. Um, because when you make a movie, you've got to give me a point of why we're going here and why these people rescued them and this and that. And once Paddington finds out about his community, the movie becomes delightful.
Mm-hmm.
It ends with enough information that they could make a sequel, or they could just finally let this go.
I hope they let it go after this.
And sadly to say, even though we follow stuff on Wikipedia, there is a sequel in development. I just read it.
Is there already?
So Paddington, I'm going to be nice and say that this is my last outing with you, Paddington.
Right.
I'm going to pass you along to someone else, and
Right, because I don't want to get even more disappointed.
right, not at all.
So, Paddington and the Browns end up going to Peru because Aunt Lucy is missing.
Aunt Lucy's out there doing tripping.
So we get to hear the story of, what is it? The sanctuary for,
Old ass bears.
basically. I don't even know what it's called at this moment, but the retired bear place. She goes missing from there, and it tells the story of where she ended up at. Not necessarily 100% how she got there. And it gives you some twists and turns that I liked. I enjoyed. I didn't expect the true villain twist.
Right. Neither did I.
I liked that part.
And then one other thing that I will say about this movie, the handling of it, how it was presented to me to make me want to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
I kept I don't know how this happens, and yes, I'm a person that jumps on TikTok rarely.
Right.
But Sony was pushing these things into my algorithm. I kept seeing something about Paddington Bear. And I was like, I put it in the back of my head. And then we know my usual release routine. I find out things on Monday night, and then I figure out if I'll, want to watch it or whatever. And it popped up, and I got eager, and I just brought it to you. And some movies, you know how I work. Some movies you never hear about. I just, obtain them, and then go about my business. But this one caught me. Because this one was right around the time that we filmed that Amy Schwimmer movie.
Pretty close to it, yes.
Yeah, so we were going through like one of those trifectas, or one thing that happens with Stacey and I. We get a good round of movies going because we had some duds for a while, especially Academy Award winning Flow.
I guess you enjoyed that one, but it's another one of those that I'm kind of like, I don't want to watch a film where there's no sound or voices or anything like that. Like no talking. That's just not my cup of tea. If you enjoy that, that's fine. I 100% recommend you go watch that movie. But for me, I don't enjoy it.
Right. And if you want to hear about that movie, you can definitely check over to the brother show to this West Virginia Commonplace, because we will be having a movie review over there and the reasons why.
WV on Commonplace, you dropped West Virginia.
Oh, yeah, WV. Sorry about that. But back to this movie. As a trilogy, I would love the fact that there's 3 movies. I can go in and watch all 3 of these, and you can pick which one's your favorite.
Okay.
In history, when it's all settled and the release is set, that's when movies get different. Because from the time you watch certain series that have 3 or 4 movies in it, you know, like for instance, Shrek. Shrek is something that eventually we'll have to go back and watch
Right.
once the next one comes out, and then I'll have to learn about something about Training the Dragon.
How to Train a Dragon,
Yeah, 'cause
the live action.
Yeah, but I'll have to go see
I
the
think
other one.
that should be the introduction to our first this or that movie. Because I would love to sit down with you and watch the initial, whether it be live action or animation, and then watch the second one of the reverse. So, like How to Train Your Dragon, it has an animation, so I'd like to watch that with you. And then when the live action comes out, we'll watch it, and we'll have our initial movie review for the cartoon, basically. And then when we come to do the second one, we'll be able to do the second review comparison with the 2.
So we'll definitely have to do a How to Train a Dragon night to go watch it, and I'm glad you're doing it that way, so I don't have to watch all of those sequels.
Right.
But something like Shrek, I really want to go back and watch, because I don't remember Shrek after Shrek 2. I didn't watch it.
And that's a way with a lot of things. So hold on one second. Let's finish up Paddington real fast, and then we'll jump into the other. So where did you see that there was another movie? Like, where are you reading that at?
When I was over here and I went down to right here, it said Paddington in Peru was released in cinemas in the United Kingdom by Studio Canal on 8 November 24, receiving positive reviews from critics, and a sequel is in development.
Okay. Y'all just drop it. Like, my recommendation, just drop it. Because their budget to box office right now is not good in comparison with the previous 2 movies. Their budget was $90 million and their box office is $164.7 million.
Yeah, so
that's not great in a comparison. But I mean, maybe if that picks up, whatever. But to each their own. So we were talking the other day, like The Little Mermaid.
Yes.
And The Lion King.
Yes.
Those all have 2 to 3 or 4 more movies. Because I think The Little Mermaid 2, there's something about like Ariel's Beginning. I don't even remember on those. The Lion King 2, Lion King 1.5, the Lion Guard movies that come out of those.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was just a TV show.
I could be wrong, which I'm going to admit to that now, but I also thought that there was a movie with the Lion Guard, and then it turned into a series. But like I said, I could be confused on that one. Heck, the boys were babies whenever they were watching that.
Okay. And I mean, I don't know, because Landon was too old for it.
Right.
He was always on some Yu-Gi-Oh, some old Japanese stuff. So where does this movie fall in line for you?
I mean, it's not one of my top movies. If I watch the Paddington series again, I'm going to throw it in there because it's just part of the trilogy. But for me to actually just sit down and watch this one individually, I wouldn't. But it was still good. I recommend everybody watching it, definitely. But it's not one of those ones where I'm going to be like, you have to go to the theaters and watch it right now.
So basically, like, you're saying that your stuff is 2, 1, 3, basically?
Yeah.
Okay. And on this one, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. Because the third one just didn't meet my expectations. Right. And if they make a fourth one, I hope that it's not straight to DVD release. I mean, I'm trying to be...
I mean, that would probably be their best option.
Yeah, because...
Like, just skip the theatrical release and put it straight on streaming.
Right, or just have it come out in Britain and import it here. Because, like, the thing is, like, that ratio from the first movie and the second movie made it a smash. And even though this market's different, that box office is not making you enough money to
Right.
warrant a fourth one.
Right.
But on that note, I'm JR.
And I'm Stacey.